When I was a kid, there was a swimming pool on the other side of the tracks in my neighborhood, right? Other side of the track, swimming pool. And I would walk past the swimming pool all the time. And the coolest thing in the world to me, not just what's in the world, the coolest thing was when I would see a father and he would grab a kid and he would throw him up and he would catch him. And they would laugh and they would smile. And I would always stand on the fence and I would say, man, I can't wait until one day I have my wife and my children. And I could take him to a pool and I could throw him up and I could catch him and I could see him smile. And when the doctor looked at me and I said, physically, I said, I can't do some of the things that I wanted. I can't throw my kid up like I wanted to in the pool. Like some of the things I can't do. I said, but I could use this arm every day for the rest of my life by the way that I live my life, because I would never let a circumstance or a situation define my life. Adversity is adversity. And the reason I love adversity is because you don't judge a person's character by where they stand when everything is all good. Everybody can stand up and do good when everything is all good. Everybody can smile when it's sunshine. Everybody can do right when everything is going right. Everybody can do that. But everybody can't face opposition, adversity, and challenges and say, I've been waiting on you to come. I'm going to embrace you, and I'm going to figure out a way to use you, because you would never turn me into a different person. You would never make me a person that people don't recognize before the adversity. You ever seen a person that faced something and you don't even recognize them? Like, the thing I've learned about life, like, everybody is in different businesses, per se, but at the end of the day, we're all in the people's business. And what I mean by that is every day we have a chance to impact somebody's life. Right? And I firmly believe with the things we're part of and the things we do, we all have to have a purpose that's a lot greater than ourselves. So when we hit things that we don't understand and that brings us a certain level of discomfort and that hurts us and we just can't pull the grips on it, when we have to encounter things like that, we have to step back and we have to figure out, how can I use it? And a lot of times as people, like, naturally people are selfish. Right? And what I mean by that is they approach situations and they say, what can I extract from this situation and how can it benefit me? But the moment an individual shifts their perspective and shift their mentality and shift their attitude from me to we, that is the moment an individual becomes literally dangerous. Because now an individual is attached to purpose and mission. And when you have an individual that's attached to purpose and mission, it's not too many things that's going to stop them. You see, my football career ended, but my reason for why I lived my life, it never did. I just had a paralyzed right arm and hand. My mentality wasn't paralyzed. My spirit wasn't paralyzed. My drive wasn't paralyzed. My dedication wasn't, my commitment wasn't. I was the same man. I just had an extra boost of energy for why I lived my life. I wear this as a badge of honor. Every single day, the adversity, the opposition that life sent to break me, I wear it as a badge of honor because I understand every day of my life, I represent something. It's just like every individual in this room, every company, every brand. When people see you, they think something. We've all seen those people, we see them coming, we're like, oh, here come this crybaby. No, they're whining about something. And then we've all seen those people where we say, man, where you been, brother? I've been needing to see you, man. How can we be those type of people in our companies and our families and the things that we're connected to? How can we be those people that's a breath of fresh air, man? How can we be those people that live life with passion and compassion? How can we be those people when we ask people questions, we don't just listen with the intent to reply, but we actually listen with the intent to understand? How can we be those people that understand everybody that comes across our path, they come across our path for a reason. And so when we approach them, we listen, and we share a little bit of love, and we want to leave them a little bit different. Like, I'll never forget, I talked to the guy that I encountered the hit with that left my arm like this, and that changed my life. I'll never forget, I talked to him. He called me, and he played for the University of Air Force, obviously, and he just so happened to be from Atlanta. And he calls me, and I pick up the phone. It was about a year and a half after my incident happened. I pick up the phone, this guy is crying his eyes out. And he says to me as he's crying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. He said, I didn't have a shot at the NFL. He said, you did. He said, I feel as if I messed your life up. And I said to him, thank you. He stopped crying. He said, what do you mean, thank you? I said, I'm saying thank you because if this incident didn't happen, who's to say that I would be the man that I now am? Who's to say that I would be the father that I now? Who's to say that I would have the perspective that I have. Not that my perspective was bad before. Adversity, it's all about perspective. It's never about what we go through. It's how we view what we go through. And when I told him thank you, the reason he didn't understand it, it's not so much about a story, right? We all have stories. Like the ESPN producer told me, he came down to see me in Atlanta and they shot my little special and he told me, I'm not coming just for the story. Everybody has a story. He said, I'm coming because I can't understand your perspective and I can't understand how you can be thankful for something that brings a lot of people pain and they just can't understand. I can't understand how you're thankful for something that a lot of people can't even process and they will use it as an excuse. And I said, you probably can't understand it because you don't live life the way that I live it. Every single day I wake up, the only thing I need is a breath of fresh air. That's it. I don't need a reward. I don't need a product. The only thing I need is breath in my body. And every single day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to live life for the right reason. And I'm going to live life in the right way. And I'm going to live life with passion, with love and compassion. Because when I almost lost my life, that shade went up and it made me realize what life was really about. And at the end of the day, I think we all know it's not about anything superficial or materialistic. We've all experienced that. We've all got that new car, and 3 days later, it's just a new car. And then we've all done something for a family at Christmas, and why did it feel better when we did something for a family at Christmas than when we did something for ourselves? Because life is attached to growth, and life is attached to service, and what that service is serving something that serves a lot greater purpose than just ourselves. And I'm reminded of a story about two gentlemen, very wealthy, ran companies, very wealthy. They ended up getting terminally ill. They put them in this facility. The guys were in this facility. They would come out every single day in the common area. They would have fun. They would do their thing, and they would put them in a room. They would eat. They would drink. And so one of the guys, he asked the nurse, he said, hey, nurse, can you put me in a room with that guy? I really like him, man. We're having a great time. We're hitting it off. She said, sure. She put him in the same room. So she would bring him something, water, something to drink, some food. Every single day they would eat. They would drink. And so one of the guys, he had a bed and it was by the window. And so every single day, his buddy on the opposite side would say, man, can you tell me what you see out that window when you get the strength to lift yourself up? He said, yeah, cool. So every single day they would eat, they would drink, and he would lift himself up and he would look out of the window and he would say, man, I see a beautiful skyline. He said, man, I see beautiful flowers, beautiful kids running, playing, beautiful couples walking, holding hands. And this guy on the opposite side would say, man, thank you so much. That really helped me. You know, we're about to die. Really helped me. One day, nurse came in the room. Guy with the bed by the window had died. She started prepping him. She's taking him out of the room. And as she's rolling him out, the guy on the opposite side said, hey, nurse. He said, what is it? He said, can you do me a favor? He said, yeah, what is it? He said, whenever you put that guy wherever you got to put him, can you come back and can you please roll my bed by the window? I want the opportunity to lift up, look out of that window and see what he used to tell me about that really helped me in my situation. She said, sure. Next day she came in, brought him some water, brought him some food. He ate, he drank his water. He lifted himself up. He looked out of the window and the only thing he saw was a brick wall. He started yelling, screaming, nurse, nurse, get in here. Nurse came running. She said, what is it? He said, why is there a brick wall there? He said, you know, my buddy used to tell me about this beautiful skyline, beautiful flowers, you know, beautiful couples walking, holding hands, beautiful kids playing. He said, can we please get that wall removed? He wanted the whole wall removed. The nurse responded and she said, you didn't know? He said, no what? She said, you really didn't know? He said, no what? She said, he was blind. She said, he couldn't have seen that even if he wanted to. She said, you didn't know. Every day he did that because he knew it brought you joy. Every day he did that because he knew it brought you peace. Every day he did that because he knew it helped you with your situation. Every day he was about to die himself, but here you had a blind guy that lifted himself up, looked out of a window, and painted a picture that he couldn't even see simply because he knew it served as a blessing to his counterparts. And so as I leave you today, I have to pose the question, why do you really do what you do and where is it taking you? Like, what's the GPS that's on the end of our decisions and our choices? Like, where is it really taking us? Because at the end of the day in life, it's only two things that matter. And it's not about the biggest car, it's not about the biggest house, it's not about the bank account. It's only two things that matter. It's about who we become in life, and it's about what we give back to life. And I don't know about you, but every single day I'm blessed to be above ground. I'm gonna make my time count, and I'm gonna give something valuable back to life. Please don't be the people in this world that become a public success, but they're private failures.
So listen to me. There are those of you who said, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be the best at this company, right? But your value system says you believe in sleep more than you believe in grinding. Your value system says you are a consumer and not a producer. That you're spending more money than you're making. Why? Because you're a consumer, but you're reading all the books and you're saying everything the books are saying, but those books are not in alignment with your values. And if you're gonna go to the next level, your values are gonna have to change. That's what happened for Eric Thomas. My values about learning changed. I realized that information changes situations. And so I'd rather buy a book than buy a house. Because if I buy a book, I can buy several homes. But if I buy a home and I don't have the right information, you could burn my house down and it wouldn't bother me. Well, how do I know? I had a home that a tornado tore down in Alabama. It didn't bother me. Why? Because we have the blueprint and they can rebuild it. You could take all my money out the bank. It might hit me. Ooh, I can make more money. But if you take the knowledge out of my head and take the experiences that I have, I'm broke. I'm nothing. So now I don't just read because I see other people reading and I want to mimic what they're doing. I really believe in reading now. And so all I do when I have time is read. You got to be obsessed with improvement. The problem with most people is that you're not obsessed with improvement. You're obsessed with making money. You're obsessed with taking your business to the next level. And can I be honest with you guys? When you become obsessed with improvement, I will spend more time learning than I will speaking. I'm gonna say it again because you missed it. I will spend more time sitting under people. I will spend more time learning than I will speaking. I will walk away with stuff I never heard before, books I've never read before, audios I've never seen before, going to conferences that I've never gone, hanging out with people that I never hung out with before. This is nothing, God. This is just a dessert. Me speaking is just a dessert. This is just the beginning. I came to learn. I came to get an upgrade. And when I go back, my wife will notice a difference. My kids will know a difference. Why? I'm obsessed with improvement. Every day I'm getting better. There are those of you with phones, and every new phone that comes out, you get it. Every upgrade, you get it. Every piece of software, you get it. You are upgrading your technology, and you've not upgraded yourself. You got the same operating system you had since 1995. You don't think any different. You don't speak any different. You're the exact same person you were in 2010.